Today we're taking a look at these MLB matches, which are happening on Friday, April 28, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and to push the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also check out our Patreon if you want access to our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money, and if you are interested in props and parlay picks, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link to our Patreon and to our new channel in the description and comments section below. Kansas City Royals vs Minnesota Twins. Kansas City enters this game coming off back-to-back losses in their previous two games, dropping Game 3 of their series loss against the Diamondbacks and Game 1 of their current series against the Twins. In their most recent 7-1 loss, Zack Greinke got the start and the loss for the Royals, tossing 3.2 innings and allowing 8 hits that resulted in 7 earned runs. From then on it was a bullpen game for the Royals, with the pen doing a good job of closing out the rest of the game. On the offensive end, the Royals only totaled 3 hits and 1 run in the game, with no multi-hit performances for the lineup. Vinny Pasquantino went 1-4 with a solo bomb he hit in the fourth being their only run in the game. Overall, this was a very forgettable loss for the Royals. Taking the Twins' run line in this game for a couple of reasons. The Twins are coming off a 7-1 win in Game 1, and I expect more of the same in Game 2. The Twins give right-hander Pablo Lopez the start, who has gotten off to a solid start for Minnesota with a 3.00 ERA and a 1.03 WHIP in his first 5 starts, while the Royals give right-hander Jordan Lyles the start, who has posted a 4.88 ERA and a 1.18 WHIP in his first 5 starts, along with a 0-4 record. Unfortunately for Lyles, I do not see him getting his first win on the season this game. The bats for the Royals have been pretty cold as of late, hanging up only 1 run in Game 1 and getting shut out in their game before that, while the Twins have hung up at least 6 runs in their past 4 games. In terms of trends, the Royals are 0-5 in Lyles' past 5 starts on grass and are 0-5 in their last 5 games against a team from the AL Central. Meanwhile, the Twins are 6-1 in their past 7 games against a team from the AL Central. In addition, when these teams have faced off in the past, the Royals are 3-10 in their past 13 meetings overall and are 15-37 in their past 52 meetings in Minnesota. For these reasons, I am confident in taking the Twins run line for this matchup. Minnesota Twins run line. Taking the under in this game for a couple of reasons. There are a variety of trends indicating the under for this game, hence the relatively low total set at 8. We get a solid pitching matchup in Game 2 with Pablo Lopez on the bump for the Twins and Jordan Lyles on the mound for the Royals. Lopez got a little pieced up in his last outing, allowing 8 hits and 5 runs in 4 innings, but could be in line for a better start in this one, same could be said for Lyles. These teams' game last night was a 7-1 final, which would have pushed this total set at 8, and I see this game being a little lower scoring than the previous. In terms of trends, the Royals have gone under in their past 4 games overall and in their past 4 road games, while the Twins have gone under in 5 of their past 6 Friday games. In addition, when these teams have faced off in the past, they have gone under in 6 of their past 8 meetings, making me all the more confident in taking the under. Under 8 runs. Chicago Cubs vs Miami Marlins. With all of their recent acquisitions, the Chicago Cubs have shown their potential in 2023 thus far, with big series wins over the Padres, Dodgers, Mariners and Rangers in recent times, but if they are to compete for a playoff spot in the tough NL Central, they need to beat teams that they are clearly superior to in a big way. In their past 4 games on the road, the Cubs have come away with a perfect 4-0 record, as well as being 6-1 in their past 7 games against left-handed starters, and with a winnable schedule upcoming, they will want to get started on the right foot. Over the past 2 or 3 years, neither of these teams have separated from the mediocre moniker, with solid campaigns but nothing special, and unsurprisingly, that's led to this head-to-head rivalry being fairly evenly split over that time. However, the Cubs have the advantage in their starting lineup, as well as the top of their rotation, and with Chicago's ace taking the mound after a big win last time out against Atlanta, watch for the Cubs to take a series lead right off the bat. Our team picked Chicago money line. With 2 of the most talented arms in the National League taking the mound, this one should no doubt be a pitching duel, which is no different to recent times, as the under is 5-2 in the past 7 head-to-head meetings between these teams. For the Cubs, the under is 4-1 in their past 5 games against the National League East, and for the Marlins, the under is 4-0-1 in their past 5 home games played against teams with a winning record, so watch out for a low-scoring competitive contest. Keep it simple, take the under. Baltimore Orioles vs Detroit Tigers. Baltimore has ridden its success from last season into 2023, making its voice heard. Are the Orioles more than just wild card contenders? Baltimore scores 5.21 runs per game, 6th, and hits .253, 10th, with a .755 ops, 10th. The O's have hit 28 home runs, 15th, and stolen 26 bases, 3rd this year. LF Austin Hayes leads the club in hits, 25, and batting average, .301, while 1B Ryan Mountcastle paces the team in home runs, 6, and RBI, 20. The Baltimore pitching staff has a 4.19 ERA, 17th, and a 1.25 WHIP, 11th, with 6 quality starts. Eduardo Rodriguez deserves more credit for what he's done on the mound this season. With just 1 win in 5 starts, it's clear he isn't getting the run support he deserves, either. I don't envision the Orioles jumping all over him after he held them scoreless just a few days ago, but can the Tigers score enough off his counterpart to win? I'm taking the Tigers RL at plus 1.5 in Friday's night game. The Orioles are still the better team, and the Tigers struggle to get runners home. They did not score against Grayson Rodriguez in his April 23 start, leaving 8 on base, 13 total, and going 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position. They're also hitting just .208 with a .274 OBP against right-handers in 2023. I predict this will be another close game with these starters on the mound, so I'll take the Detroit run line with a little juice as my best bet in Friday's showdown at Comerica Park. Detroit run line. Rodriguez gets the nod tomorrow at Comerica Park. The 30-year-old is having a fine season, with all 3 of the staff's quality starts. In his last 2 outings, he held Cleveland and Baltimore scoreless in 15.0 innings, surrendering 5 combined hits and recording 16 strikeouts. This season, he has a 5.1 KBB ratio. Can Detroit get this man some run support? Our total pick is over. Pittsburgh Pirates vs Washington Nationals. Although Washington has won 4 of its last 5, the Nationals have averaged 4.6 runs over that span, but 10 of the 23 runs during the span came in just 1 game. Washington has scored 85 runs, which is 27th in baseball, and is next to last in slugging percentage at .342, while 14th in batting average at .249. Jeimer Candelario is the leader in home runs for Washington with 4, and no other player has more than 2 dingers. Candelario is also the leader in RBI with 12, and Alex Call is second with 10. Washington has hit 31 doubles, 3 triples and just 12 home runs in 23 games. Pittsburgh has won 8 of its last 9. Washington has lost 88 of the last 124 when playing against a team with a winning record, and the Nationals have lost 73 of the last 108 overall. Pittsburgh Pirates starting pitcher Rich Hill has had 3 consecutive strong outings, allowing 17 hits, but just 4 runs over 17 innings, with Pittsburgh winning 2 of the 3 games. In comparison, Washington starting pitcher Chad Kuhl has allowed 15 earned runs and 20 hits over the last 18 innings, and Washington has lost 3 of the games during that span. Pittsburgh is in the top 9 in batting average, on-base percentage, slugging percentage and runs scored. Pittsburgh has a balanced attack at the plate with 3 players each hitting 5 home runs and 5 players already with 10 RBI or more. Our team pick is Pittsburgh Pirates. The total has finished under 6 of Washington's last 7, and in 6 of the last 7 that Washington has played against a team with a winning record. Washington is 27th in baseball in runs scored, while Pittsburgh has the 8th best team ERA. Pittsburgh starting pitcher Rich Hill has allowed 2 earned runs or less in each of his last 3 starts. Our total pick is under. Seattle Mariners vs Toronto Blue Jays. Toronto will go with Alek Manoah for the first game of the set. He was at his best last week against the New York Yankees, throwing 7 shutout innings, getting a tough luck no decision. He recorded 5 strikeouts and limited the Yankees to just 3 base runners over 7 innings. The week before, he was shelled for 7 runs and 4 walks in a disaster start against the Tampa Bay Rays. This was a very promising bounce-back performance as he struggled with his command against Tampa. The Mariners and Blue Jays clash in what could be a preview of the postseason as they send both aces to the mound for Game 1. Toronto will go with Alek Manoah. He was at his best last week against the New York Yankees, throwing 7 shutout innings and 7 strikeouts, getting a tough luck no decision. Luis Castillo has been excellent all year, but he labored in his outing against the Cardinals last week, needing 100 pitches and allowing 3 runs over 5 innings. I expect a big bounce-back performance from the ace in a low-scoring game dominated by starting pitching. Our team pick is Seattle Mariners money line. Seattle has been in the middle of the pack with respect to run prevention this year, but they have done a great job with limiting home runs. Entering this series with the Blue Jays, they have allowed the 4th fewest home runs in the majors. They have their best pitcher on the mound facing one of the best lineups in the American League, so you know he will be at his best for this game. I expect Seattle to win in what will be a low-scoring close game. Manoah has had 5 straight starts where he has not struck out more than 5 batters. I believe that changes here and he gets a bunch of punch-outs on the Seattle lineup. Take the under here. Atlanta Braves vs New York Mets. The Mets are 15-11 overall so far this year. They snapped a 4-game losing streak with a win against the Nationals in their latest game. The Mets lost 2 against the Giants, which bled into 2 losses into the Nationals series. In the latest game, New York defeated Washington 9-8 to avoid the sweep on Thursday, April 27. New York's Brett Baty hit a homer in the 4th inning to give the Mets the lead. The Nationals took the lead in the 8th inning, but New York bounced back with 2 runs in the bottom of the 8th to avoid the sweep. Joey Lucchesi pitched 5.1 innings and allowed 3 earned runs and struck out 3 batters in his no-decision outing. Everything has been going well for the Braves. They have won 6 of their 8 series that they have played so far this season. Their pitching and hitting has been in the top third of the entire league this season. On Friday, Fried will get the start, who has an ERA of 0.60 this year. He had an ERA of 2.79 against the Mets in 2022. This is good enough to get the job done, especially against the Mets' Peterson. Peterson has an ERA of 7.36 this season as he has struggled throughout. Take the Braves to cover. Peterson is going to allow a ton of runs to the hot Braves lineup on Friday night. Take the over in this game as the total is really low, but the Mets pitching staff has truly struggled to keep opponents in low-scoring chances. The over is 5-1 in the Braves' last 6 overall. The over is 9-3 in the Mets' last 12 Friday games. Take the over on Friday. Cleveland Guardians vs Boston Red Sox. The Red Sox slipped up in Baltimore and dropped 2 of 3 to split their 6-game road trip, returning home the same way they left, at .500. Boston's offense has shown glimpses of being powerful at times, but they have been wildly inconsistent, with 8 runs one night, then only 2 the next. Alex Verdugo has hit safely in 4 straight and 6 of his last 7 games. The outfielder is leading the team with a .311 batting average. Overall, the team is hitting .252, 11th best average in MLB. They've scored 146 runs on the year, 3rd most overall, and their 222 hits is tied for 8th. They are also tied for 5th in baseball with 34 home runs. Boston is 6-7 at home this season, but since getting swept by Pittsburgh in their 2nd series of the season, the Sox have gone 5-2 in their last 7 home games. They are keeping their head above water, or at least right at the surface. The biggest concern for the Guardians is that offense. They have not done well in the first game of a series, having been shut out twice this season in that slot. Over the last 3 opening games of a series, Cleveland has scored a combined 4 runs with 16 total hits. The Guardians are 4-11 in the last 15 meetings with Boston. Take the Red Sox on the money line with some solid value for the home team. Based on the way in which Cleveland's offense has performed at the start of their last 3 series, there is not much enthusiasm for them to do much in this game. The under is 5-0 in the Guardians' last 5 game ones of a series. The Sox offense has done a bit of the same, though not nearly as bad as the Guardians. The most that Boston's offense has scored over their last 5 series opening games has been 5 runs. They have scored more than 5 runs just 3 over their last 11 games. All in all, the Sox offense has just been too inconsistent to rely on almost solely, which the past says may be needed here the way Cleveland has been swinging. Take the under.